Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, I'm going to take you into the story of a coin that isn't just currency, it's a piece of art, a celebration of history, and a tribute to one of the most powerful voices America has ever heard. This is the 2022 Maya Angelou quarter, and if you think it's just another modern coin, you're in for a surprise, because hidden within this small piece of metal are details, minting quirks, and rare errors that can turn an ordinary find into a collector's dream. So stay with me till the very end, because I'm going to share everything that makes this coin unique, and how you might already have a valuable one in your collection without even knowing it. The 2022 Maya Angelou quarter was the very first coin released under the American Women Quarters program, and that alone makes it special. It honors Maya Angelou, the world-renowned poet, singer, dancer, and activist whose words and life inspired millions. On the reverse, you'll see Maya with her arms lifted toward the sun, a bird in flight behind her, symbolizing her famous work "I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings." The design is powerful, emotional, and unlike anything we've seen before on a US quarter, and that's exactly why collectors are paying close attention. Now, while millions of these were minted for circulation, not every coin came out perfectly, and that's where the fun begins for collectors. Some quarters show dramatic die cracks that run across Maya's arms or the bird, others have doubling in the inscriptions or the sun's rays, making the design look almost three-dimensional. There have even been reports of off-center strikes where part of the design is shifted, creating a rare and highly sought-after error that can fetch serious money. One of the most talked-about varieties is the extra feather error, where an unusual raised line appears near the bird's wing due to a die break. This small detail can make the difference between a common coin and a valuable rarity. And if you have one in pristine, mint state condition, especially from a fresh roll straight from a bank, you're holding something that collectors from New York to California are hunting for right now. Collectors love this coin not only for its beauty but also for its historic importance. It's the first time a black woman appeared on a US quarter, and that fact alone gives it long-term collectible value. Many coin experts believe the early issues, especially those with errors, will become modern classics in the numismatic world, much like the state quarters that exploded in popularity years ago. If you're a collector, here's my tip: always check both sides carefully under good lighting. Look closely at Maya's face, her arms, the bird, and the lettering around the edge. If you see doubling, cracks, or anything unusual, set that coin aside immediately. And remember, condition is everything. Coins with sharp details and full original luster are worth far more than worn pieces. If you find one with a major error, consider having it graded by a professional service to lock in its authenticity and maximize its value at auction. I've seen these special error coins sell for impressive amounts in recent months. For example, a perfectly preserved quarter with a striking die crack across the reverse sold in Chicago for well over $100, and another with a bold double die on the sun's rays sold in a Florida coin show for nearly twice that. These aren't just isolated cases. Demand for this coin is growing as more people realize its importance and rarity. In the end, the 2022 Maya Angelou quarter is more than just 25 cents, it's a celebration of art, history, and progress. It carries the spirit of a woman whose voice moved the world, and for collectors, it offers the thrill of the hunt with every roll, every change jar, every coin search. So check your change, open those bank rolls, and keep your eyes sharp, because the next quarter you pull out could be the one that turns an ordinary day into a story worth telling for years. The original market value of this coin, of course, was just 25 cents. But as you've heard, in the right condition and with the right error, it can be worth far, far more. If you enjoyed learning about the hidden treasures of the 2022 Maya Angelou quarter, make sure you hit that like button right now, and subscribe so you never miss another rare coin story. We share real history, real value, and real discoveries every week, and we'd love to have you in our growing community of passionate collectors. Drop a comment below if you found one of these quarters, or if you're still hunting. Your story might inspire the next great find. Top 2, we're diving into a coin that hides more mystery than most people realize, a coin that marked the beginning of a major change in US coinage history. This is the 1965 Washington quarter, and while at first glance it may seem like any other old quarter, the truth is there are rare varieties, minting errors, and historical quirks that make some examples worth far more than pocket change. So stay with me till the end, because I'm going to reveal why collectors chase this coin, what to look for, and how one simple detail could turn an ordinary find into a jackpot. The 1965 quarter stands out because it was the very first year the United States removed silver from its circulating quarters, replacing it with a copper-nickel-clad composition. This change was a huge moment in American coinage history, and it happened during a time when silver prices were climbing, making it too expensive for the U.S. Mint to keep using it in everyday coins. But here's where things get interesting. Some 1965 quarters were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets from 1964, and those are incredibly rare. If you find one of these, it's like finding buried treasure in your pocket. There are also other highly collectible errors from this year. Some coins show dramatic off-center strikes where part of the design is missing, others have doubled dies where the date or lettering looks doubled under magnification, and there are even examples with broad strikes where the rim is missing, giving the coin a stretched-out look. These kinds of errors instantly catch the eye of serious collectors and can bring in big offers when they're in good condition. Collectors love hunting 1965 quarters from uncirculated mint sets because those coins often have sharper details and beautiful luster that's been preserved for decades. Finding one that still shines like the day it left the mint is exciting, and if it also has an error or unusual striking feature, it's even more valuable. There's a reason people still dig through old change jars and rolls from banks hoping to spot one of these special pieces. If you're a coin collector or just getting into the hobby, here's my tip: always check the edge of a 1965 quarter. The standard clad coins will show a copper stripe along the edge, but the rare silver transitional errors will have a solid silver-colored edge with no copper showing. That's your first clue you might have something extraordinary in your hands. And if you find one, don't clean it, don't spend it, put it in a protective holder and consider getting it graded by a reputable coin grading service to confirm its authenticity. I've seen 1965 silver transitional error quarters sell for incredible amounts in coin shows and auctions across the country. In cities like Dallas and Philadelphia, collectors have paid huge premiums for well-preserved examples, and even more for coins with verified grading. And it's not just silver planchet errors that sell. Beautifully struck clad quarters from 1965 with bold doubling or extreme off-center errors have also brought in impressive bids. This coin isn't just a piece of metal, it's a time capsule from a turning point in U.S. history. It tells the story of a nation moving away from silver, the challenges of minting millions of coins during that transition, and the accidental treasures that slipped into circulation along the way. That's why every serious collector keeps an eye out for it, and why demand for special examples hasn't faded in all these decades. The original market value of this coin was only 25 cents, but as you've heard, the right 1965 quarter can be worth far, far more in today's collector market. Top 3. Let's step into the world of a coin that may look like just another quarter in your hand, but hold surprises that could make any collector's heart race. The 1981 Washington quarter is one of those coins you might overlook in everyday change, yet it has secrets hiding in plain sight. Today I'm going to share with you the details, the rarity, and the fascinating errors that make this coin so desirable, so don't miss a second of this because the very next quarter you find could be one of these treasures. The 1981 quarter came out at a time when the United States Mint was producing huge numbers of coins for circulation, but that doesn't mean they're all common. In fact, some have unusual strikes, bold doubling, and rare planchet errors that make collectors willing to pay far more than face value. This was also a year when proof sets and mint sets were popular, and coins taken directly from these sets often have that gorgeous, sharp detail and bright luster that collectors crave. One of the most exciting varieties from this year is the double die obverse, where the date, letters, or even Washington's profile can have noticeable doubling under magnification. Then there are the off-center strikes where part of the design is missing but the date is still visible. These are dramatic, eye-catching, and highly sought after. There are even examples struck on planchets intended for other coins, which are extremely rare and can bring in impressive prices at auctions. Collectors know that condition plays a huge role, so finding a 1981 quarter in mint state condition with no wear is a big deal. Coins stored away for decades in original mint sets can still look like they were struck yesterday, and when paired with an error, these are the kind of finds that grab attention at coin shows from New York to California. Here's a tip for every coin lover: when you're checking your change or going through rolls from the bank, take a closer look at the edges, the date, and the lettering. Doubling can be subtle but valuable, and unusual thickness in the edge or missing parts of the reading can point to a minting mistake. Use good lighting and, if possible, a magnifying glass to spot those little details most people miss. I've seen beautifully preserved 1981 quarters with strong doubling sell for big money in states like Texas and Florida, and dramatic off-center strikes have gone for even more at coin shows in Chicago and Las Vegas. The market for these coins is active because collectors want them both for their place in history and for the thrill of owning something rare. The original market value of this coin was just 25 cents, but in the right condition and with the right error, it can be worth far more in today's collector market. Top 4. We're going to explore why this coin can be far more than just 25 cents and why you should never underestimate the change in your hand. The 1979 quarter features the iconic portrait of George Washington on the obverse and the proud American eagle on the reverse, but hidden within those familiar designs are some treasures most people overlook. Some quarters from this year show doubling in the lettering or numbers, creating a striking visual effect that is instantly noticeable under magnification. Others have off-center strikes that shift the design dramatically while still keeping the date visible, making them highly desirable to collectors. One of the rarest and most fascinating finds is a 1979 quarter struck on the wrong planchet, such as a nickel or even a foreign coin blank. These unusual minting errors don't just make for a good conversation piece, they can command serious money when they show up at coin shows or in online auctions. The combination of rarity, condition, and eye-catching mistakes is what drives collectors to hunt for these coins year after year. If you're serious about coin collecting, here's a tip: always check your quarters from the 70s era carefully. The mint's quality control was strong, but no production run is perfect, and the 1979 coins have their fair share of intriguing oddities. Look for doubling in the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust," as well as any unusual spacing in the date or reading on the coin's edge. Sometimes the smallest detail can be the difference between an ordinary find and a collector's jackpot. I've seen gorgeous mint state examples of the 1979 quarter, especially those with dramatic errors, sell for impressive prices at coin conventions in places like Philadelphia and Las Vegas. Even local coin shops in smaller towns have been known to pay well above face value for pristine examples or those with eye-catching mint mistakes. These coins are always in demand because they're old enough to have developed a following yet modern enough that they can still be found in circulation by lucky hunters. The original market value of the 1979 Washington quarter was just 25 cents, but the right coin with a rare error in excellent condition can bring in far more in today's collector market. Top 5, and last coin, we're going to dig into why this year's quarter is worth paying close attention to and how certain rare varieties from 1977 have become prized finds for coin lovers across the country. This coin was minted during a time when the U.S. Mint was producing millions of quarters each year for circulation, yet not all of them came out the same. Among the 1977 quarters there are errors and varieties that can turn an ordinary piece of pocket change into something collectors will chase after. Some have doubled die obverse features where the date or lettering looks doubled under magnification, giving the coin a striking and unusual appearance. Others have off-center strikes where part of the design is shifted, and some coins even have broad strikes with no visible edge reading, making them stand out instantly when compared to a normal quarter. Collectors especially love coins that are in high-grade mint state condition from this year. If you happen to come across a 1977 quarter that still has its original mint luster, no scratches and sharp detail, then you're holding something that can draw serious interest from the numismatic community. Proof coins from the mint sets of 1977 also hold their own charm with that mirror-like background and frosted details that are simply beautiful to look at. Here's a tip for every coin hunter out there: always take the time to look closely at your change and especially check the quarters from the 70s era. Use a magnifying glass and check the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" along with the date for signs of doubling. Examine the coin's edge to see if there's missing reading or signs of an unusual strike. Many great discoveries happen because someone noticed just a small detail that most people would ignore. I've seen rare high-grade 1977 quarters sell for impressive amounts at auctions in places like Dallas and New York, and coin shows in cities like Chicago often have collectors lined up looking for specific errors from this year. Even small-town coin shops keep an eye out for unusual 1977 quarters because they know there's always a buyer ready for something rare and beautiful. The original market value of the 1977 Washington quarter was just 25 cents, but the right example with a rare error or in pristine condition can bring in much more in today's collector market. If you enjoyed exploring the story of the 1977 quarter, make sure you like this video and subscribe for more rare coin stories that will keep you searching your change with excitement. Share your experience in the comments if you've ever found a special coin from 1977, or if you're on the hunt for one now. Your story could be the inspiration for another collector's next great find.